Ooh, welcome everybody to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here, and today we're doing your weekly episodic news show where we cover all the news going on in the WWE. This is Behind the Mic, episode number 22. We're doing here today. We've got a bunch of news and, of course, a lot of things going on this week, and Extreme Rules going on this Sunday, and that will be reviewed on this YouTube channel. Make sure to go check out the Extreme Rules preview and predictions that I posted last Thursday night, so make sure to go check that one out. And of course, Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews for this week are up on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, so don't miss any of that good content. Extreme Rules review and results coming after that show goes off the air, so if you don't want to miss any of it, make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure to like all of these videos if you like what you see here. Make sure to go check out everything else, and of course make sure to comment what you think of all these videos. Make sure to comment what you thought of Monday Night Raw on that Raw review, SmackDown on that SmackDown review, and of course what your preview and predictions are going in to Extreme Rules. Comment that on the Extreme Rules preview and predictions video. For now, we're doing Behind the Mic, and we've got a bunch of news stories, starting off with the declining ratings of Monday Night Raw. Raw reaches its second lowest rating in history. We're going to talk about that one. That's probably going to be the main news story as well. I'm bundling these two up with Monday Night Raw. Rumors of Monday Night Raw going back to 2 hours in 2019 when their contract with USA is up. We've also got news stories on Samoa Joe, and this is latest breaking news story right here. It came up just today. Samoa Joe is now apparently going to win the Extreme Rules Fatal 5-Way on what we can only proclaim is a dream match against Brock Lesnar. We've also got news on who it can be that attacked Enzo Amore last week, or for the past 2 weeks, on Monday Night Raw, and who is the person, who was this mysterious person who texted Kurt Angle and who could supposedly ruin his career. Also, we've got news on Dolph Ziggler and this dramatic story with this YouTuber over here. Jesus Christ, we're going to talk about this one and how he apparently stood this person up. So we got a little drama on this Behind the Mic as well. For now, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the news that we're going to be talking about on this Behind the Mic. Of course, going into Extreme Rules tomorrow and talking about just everything going on in the WWE news world. For now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go right into the news stories. Vince McMahon sees Raw's second lowest rating ever. Who is to blame? I think it's quite clear who is to blame. Every year after WrestleMania, WWE experiences the hangover for a couple weeks, but this year has actually been quite frightening. The ratings for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live are always lower as the summer approaches, but there is quite the cause for concern as things aren't bouncing back this year. As a matter of fact, Vince McMahon just learned that this week's Monday Night Raw had its second lowest rating ever. It was no big surprise that ratings were falling for some of the Monday Night Raw shows as Brock Lesnar was taking his normal hiatus. There was also the fact that the many big names had switched around during the Superstar shakeup, and some fans might not have been too thrilled with that. Add the retirement of The Undertaker to the mix, and many casual fans likely stopped watching since one of the greatest was gone. But still, the second lowest rating ever? According to Wrestling Inc., this week's Memorial Day episode of Monday Night Raw averaged 2.613 million viewers over the 3 hours for a final show rating of 1.75. The main event saw Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, and there's no secret that a number of fans are not fond of the big dog. This year's Memorial Day episode was down 19.1% from last year's, which averaged 3.222 million viewers with a 2.19 rating. Holiday episodes usually draw lower ratings, and that has been the case for years. But this is unexplored territory for WWE. Smackdown Live has experienced ratings fluctuations for the past 2 months since WrestleMania 33, but they've seen a number of up weeks as well. Monday Night Raw has seen almost a constant free fall, and the third hour of the show keeps doing the worst each and every week. Forbes reports that the move to 3 hours has done really nothing but hurt Raw, and the proof is right there in the weekly ratings per Alfred Kanawa, or I don't know what name that is, Kanua. WWE moved to a 3-hour format. This is from Forbes. WWE moved to a 3-hour format in 2012, and since then, viewership totals have seen year-to-year drop-offs. Raw's negative ratings pattern since moving to 3 hours indicates viewer burnout, and it just might be time for the promotion to consider moving back to 2 hours. If Vince McMahon needs any further proof that things are very bad for Raw right now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter pointed out quite the disturbing fact. By the way, of Wrestling Inc., this week's Monday Night Raw recorded a 1.75 rating, and that is a hold up here. This article wants to glitch around here, but during its entire run, that is a rather significant number, because during its entire run, WCW Monday Nitro only had one episode that ever scored lower than a 1.75, and that was on December 11th, 2000. So even a company that went out of business usually didn't do that bad. So you're telling me Monday Night Raw is doing that bad? Jesus Christ. With Monday Night Raw ratings having a falling trend for the last 2 months, WWE could see next week's episode fall below that number. If that does indeed happen, it could result in some drastic measures taking place in order to change things. Looking at this week's episode of Raw, there were some really big names and matches on the card. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, the Hardys and Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus, Cesaro, and The Miz. I wouldn't consider that last one a big match, but that's besides the point. Take out the horrible This Is Your Life segment with Alexa Bliss and Bayley. This really wasn't a bad episode. What? Whoa, this was a terrible episode. I don't know who wrote this article, but Jesus Christ. It did have the holiday working against it, but something else kept the fans from tuning in yet another week. That might have been Memorial Day, and there may still be a bit of the WrestleMania hangover for the ratings, but this has got to be the cause of concern for Vince McMahon. Seeing the ratings plummet was an issue, but Monday Night Raw recording the second lowest rating in history has to be completely disheartening. Something has to be done, and WWE needs to figure it out quickly, or it can end up being too late. These numbers are dismal, bro. Dismal. The numbers have no excuse to be this low. If anything, your rating should be higher at this time than ever. You're not competing with Monday Night Football. You're not, there's really not talent injured. There's really not any major talent out on the injured list. Look at the roster you are working with, bro. You can't blame it on the absence of Brock Lesnar. You can't blame it on the absence of John Cena. You need to blame it on your booking. And this shows that after years of terrible Monday Night Raws, WWE is finally going to be affected by their mistakes. There's no way that putting on the terrible quality of Monday Night Raw that they've been putting on for the past couple years, they have been able to keep a over 3 million audience, and it's finally catching up to them. People are finally saying, you know what? I'm done with this bullshit. Because Jesus Christ, look at the segments we're getting. We're seeing Sasha Banks, who in NXT under the correct booking was one of the hottest commodities in all of the WWE. Everybody was like, oh my god, Sasha Banks the boss. I love this girl. Look at her on Monday Night Raw. Dancing around with Rich Swann. Nobody gives a crap about her. Bayley, down in NXT, under the great booking of NXT. Everybody cared about Bayley. Oh my god. What a great soul. Look at the pop she got on that episode of Monday Night Raw last August when she debuted. Now she comes out, no one gives a crap about her. You see these guys like Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor, when they all came up, oh my god, Samoa Joe attacked Seth Rollins. Bray Wyatt, look at the unique, interesting figure, the promos this guy can cut. Finn Balor coming back from injury, oh my god, he's back. What has Finn Balor done since coming back? Nothing. Samoa Joe has already taken a pinfall loss to Seth Rollins at WWE Payback, and I don't even need to speak about how badly Bray Wyatt has been booked. Losing to Randy Orton, losing to John Cena, losing to The Undertaker, losing to Roman Reigns, losing to this guy, taking pins, eating pins. They call him the Eater of Worlds. A more appropriate name would be the Eater of Pins, bro, because Monday Night Raw, and this is finally catching up to them, Monday Night Raw is where dreams go to die. You want to see something, you want to see a big storyline, you want to see exciting television. Monday Night Raw is not the place to go, bro. Jesus Christ. It's finally catching up to them that it's not who's there and who's not, it's the quality of television you put on, and people are starting to see more and more. They're starting to say, you know what? This is garbage, bro. This is garbage, and I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to watch it anymore. Only reason that I think I still am watching it is because, first of all, I love wrestling, and I mean, it's the flagship show after all. Ugh. And it's my job to review this garbage every Monday. So, I mean, Jesus Christ, man. If you don't put on exciting television, obviously nobody's going to tune into your show. Raw ratings have never been this bad, bro. They've never been this bad. And it's because your television has never been this terrible. Last week's episode of Monday Night Raw was dismal, bro. It was dismal. It was abysmal, bro. I will rhyme how many fucking bad things I have to say about this goddamn show. God damn it, this show was terrible, and it's finally catching up to them that they cannot keep putting on this terrible quality of television. That's all I have to say about it. The terrible television needs to stop because ratings are going to keep going down. It doesn't matter if you have a Brock Lesnar there, a Goldberg, an Undertaker, and that just goes to show you the loss of the Undertaker. These guys aren't going to be around forever. A Brock Lesnar isn't going to be around forever, and you're going to see a day where you're not going to save your ratings by having a Brock Lesnar come onto television, where you're going to have to use a Seth Rollins, you're going to have to use a Bray Wyatt in an intriguing way, and I think that day is coming closer and closer, and WWE doesn't want to deal with it. So that's why the ratings are dropping. It's not because of Brock Lesnar isn't there. It's not because of John Cena isn't there. It's not because an Undertaker retired. It's because your television is awful. Moving on to another main reason why this show is absolutely terrible. It's the 3-hour format, bro. The 3-hour format not only affects the ratings, it affects the quality of the goddamn show. Because by a third hour, nobody wants to watch Monday Night Raw anymore. And that's why this article puts a smile on my face from head to toe. Let's talk about it. Here we are with this article. If I could pull this up here, Jesus Christ, unlocking my phone, and here we are. Monday Night Raw finally moving to back to 3 hours. Back to 3 hours from 3 to 2 hours in 2019. Monday Night Raw is the longest running wrestling show on television, and it has no competition. However, the current 3-hour format of the program is causing problems in the quality of the segments, and the declining ratings are showing it. The latest WWE rumors suggest that Monday Night Raw could go back to the previous 2-hour format in 2019. The WWE decided to add one more hour to Monday Night Raw after airing its 1000th episode on July 23rd, 2012. The main reason for the change is the desire of the USA Network, owned by NBC Universal, to have more WWE content. More wrestling content for the network means more money for the WWE, since the USA Network is paying them a lot for that extra hour. Many fans were initially excited about the 3-hour Monday Night Raw, but viewer burnout is a problem in the show's 5th year. The WWE and USA Network have a deal until 2019, so fans just have to wait for 2 more years before a potential change to Monday Night Raw, and the annual $150 million from USA Network and NBC Universal is going to be hard to turn down. But the declining ratings and lower viewership is a problem per the Los Angeles Times. According to Alfred Kanua of Forbes, the same guy from the last article, the WWE may shift back to the 2-hour format for Monday Night Raw if they cannot improve the show's ratings. The WWE's main flagship program is doing poorly despite the NFL offseason, and it will only get worse if the NFL season begins in 3 months and the ratings continue to fall even lower. Kanua added that going back to the 2-hour Monday Night Raw will improve the ratings, but also gives the WWE an advantage in future negotiations. But more importantly, the WWE will have if this article will goddamn load, Jesus Christ, they will have, it's just a gray thing in front of what I'm trying to load here. Jesus Christ, let's see if this will load. Oh, here we are. I switch to LTE on my phone here where I'm reading the news story, and of course it loads there because my Wi-Fi, Verizon Wi-Fi, is trash. But anyways, the WWE will have an easier time coming up with better stories for Monday Night Raw rather than thinking about filling a 3-hour show. The quality of the product has suffered in terms of storylines, with great matches once in a while. Brock Lesnar will help the ratings, but he is not going to appear every week or even every month. One example of bad television is the recent Bayley This Is Your Life segment involving Alexa Bliss and Bayley. The segment was so terrible that the WWE even removed it from their YouTube channel, which I didn't know. Fans blasted the creative team of Monday Night Raw for coming up with such a bad segment. Alexa Bliss was one of the rising stars of the WWE, couldn't even save the segment from getting bad reviews. Bayley, This Is Your Life is not the only bad segment Monday Night Raw has produced since 2012. Some of the other terrible segments include The Old Day, Jesus Christ, The Old Day, featuring Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and The New Day, And the Tater Tots promo by Roman Reigns, that was, oh my god. Monday Night Raw is not always bad, but the 3-hour format is giving its fans a burnout with a 2-hour Smackdown Live the next night and NXT on Wednesday. The WWE is doing all they can to fill out that third hour of Monday Night Raw. The Cruiserweight division was introduced last year with 205 Live as the extra hour for SmackDown Live. However, the lack of stories and character development for the superstars is hurting the product. The company is even starting to use Sasha Banks and other female superstars to boost the Cruiserweight division, but it's not going to help. So, that's what this article is saying. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer noted on his latest podcast that WWE's ratings are declining even for teenage males. The teenagers are the heart of the WWE universe, but all the demographics are showing a significant decrease. Meltzer believes that the reason for the decline is casual fans don't want to watch a 3-hour Monday Night Raw. I think that the big culprit is that the show is too long. Following WWE has gone from being a fun hobby to work, and yes, it has turned into work, especially for me, but your hardcore fans love the fact that there's more product than ever before, but the casual person does not want to devote 5 hours a week or 8 hours for pay-per-view weeks. However, it should be noted that these thoughts are just speculation, since WWE won't change the format of Monday Night Raw as long as the WWE or the USA Network is happy. But with Raw, with the declining ratings, it's not hard to think that the WWE will do even more just to boost ratings. Kurt Angle is rumored to be wrestling again. Brock Lesnar is finally returning to television, and Hulk Hogan is close to coming back as an ambassador. So there's a lot of part-timers in the works for WWE. What do I think about this? Monday Night Raw should absolutely, no doubt about it, turn back to 2 hours. It would limit the bullshit segments. It would make this show a lot better because, like SmackDown, you would have more time to go to the things you directly want to do. Or, you'd have less time to throw in the bullshit, is what I should say. Because usually what we see is the first hour, it's like, alright, we're moving here. Second hour, it's a little worse. And then the third hour is just complete. You're throwing garbage at us. Bullshit, I don't know what to put here. Throwing random segments at us. Who even cares at this point? That's what the third hour always is. And then we always get a decent main event. Instead, it would be compacted into your opening segment and whatever you want to throw in the middle, the important stuff in the middle, all the garbage gets cut off, and then you have a main event, bro. That's what it would be. It would be a lot shorter. That's why SmackDown is so good, because even a bad SmackDown is better than a bad Monday Night Raw, because at least it was only 2 hours we had to sit through, then 3. And then on top of that, you have to consider the burnout of all these hours of wrestling content. 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, an hour of NXT. That's already 6 goddamn hours. Then, if you have a pay-per-view that week, you can add 3 hours to that. NXT TakeOver, add 2.5 hours to that, bro. How many hours is that, bro? How many hours? That's like 11 hours of wrestling just in 1 week alone. 205 Live, throw that on there. That's another hour. 12.5 hours of wrestling. Then throw Talking Smack on there. That's half an hour. 13 hours of wrestling. Raw Talk, another half an hour. 13.5 hours of wrestling in one goddamn week, bro. In one goddamn week. That is burnout, bro. Major burnout. And nobody needs to sit through that, man. And especially when your flagship show alone is burning people out on the first day. That's why SmackDown Live ratings are declining as well. Nobody's gonna, after sitting through a abysmal Monday Night Raw on Monday, nobody's gonna tune into SmackDown and give that show the benefit of the doubt. They're gonna say, if Monday Night Raw was so terrible, Jesus Christ, imagine SmackDown tomorrow, bro. I can't sit through another 2 hours of this garbage. That's what people are going to be saying. That's why SmackDown Live ratings are terrible. SmackDown Live ratings are a direct thought or a direct result of what Monday Night Raw did the night prior, and that's why SmackDown Live ratings are usually not better than Monday Night Raw ratings, because people tune into Monday Night Raw, they're like, it's been a week, let's see what this show got this week, it's terrible, then people are like, I'm already burnt out of wrestling this week, 3 hours is enough, ain't no way in hell I'm tuning into SmackDown. That's why those ratings are so terrible. 2 hours would completely benefit Monday Night Raw. It would make the show better, and these good shows, sometimes, very rarely, we see good shows on Monday Night Raw. These good shows of 3 hours would turn into great shows of 2 hours, bro. I mean, we usually see 20 minutes or so of good content on Monday Night Raw in these 3-hour surfaces, bro. Only 20 minutes of valuable content. 20 minutes of 2 hours is a hell of a lot better than 20 minutes of 3 hours. It's still not good. It's still not good, but at least it's better, bro. So anything to limit this burnout, anything to make these shows better, and I think this is the best thing you could do, because it is, you know that those 3 hours are declining the ratings as well. So your ratings are going to go up, people are going to be more interested, and it will give you the chance to produce a better show, because all these 3 hours are doing is making you more money. You know what's going to make you more money? If there's more people looking at the business. And if you have a 2-hour show, it's more likely that you're going to put on a better show, and that third hour decline is not going to be there. More people are going to be watching, and more money is going to be made. Maybe not as much money, but still money is going to be made, and that's what you need to look at there. So that is what I think of this decline in Raw ratings, and that is what I think of Raw going back to 2 hours. I don't think it's something I would want. It's something we need as a WWE fan, and the WWE needs, in order to put on better Monday Night Raws, because this show is absolutely awful. Samoa Joe to win the WWE Fatal 5-Way going on at Extreme Rules and go into a dream match against Brock Lesnar. I've said it multiple times, bro. I've said it multiple times. Samoa Joe is the guy I want to win. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, or Roman Reigns are the options I think are going to win. Jesus Christ. Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns have the momentum heading into the Fatal 5-Way match this Sunday at Extreme Rules to determine the number one contender for the WWE Universal Championship. Joe and Reigns won their respective matches on Monday Night Raw to gain a much-needed boost. However, the latest WWE odds have Samoa Joe coming out on top and earning a shot at Brock Lesnar's title at Great Balls of Fire next month. The WWE superstars participating in the Fatal 5-Way match at Extreme Rules are Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Samoa Joe. As recapped by WWE.com, all the competitors were involved in 2 matches on Monday Night Raw to increase interest for Extreme Rules, and that was a miserable failure. Samoa Joe faced off against Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt in a triple threat. Joe stole the win after Balor hit the coup de grace on Wyatt. The Samoan submission machine has been on a tear since making his debut on the main roster a day after the Royal Rumble last January. Joe already has wins over top superstars like Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. On the other hand, Reigns and Rollins put on a fantastic match in the main event of Monday Night Raw. It was a back-and-forth battle between 2 former members of the Shield that got everyone in the arena excited. But that was only 20 minutes of the show, like I said. Only 20 minutes of enjoyable content on Monday Night Raw every week. Reigns got the win, and that was bullshit. So that kind of put a damper on these good 20 minutes of Raw, because there's always this Achilles heel holding something about a good segment down. But Reigns got the win after hitting Rollins with the spear, but it seems like he's not going to come out as the top contender for the WWE Universal Championship on Sunday at Extreme Rules. According to BetWrestling.com. Samoa Joe is heavily favored to win the Fatal 5-Way match at Extreme Rules and face Brock Lesnar for the WWE Universal Championship at Great Balls of Fire on July 9th. Joe is a 4-7 favorite to win, while Balor comes in second at 9-2 odds, followed by Rollins at 5-1, Wyatt at 7-1, and Reigns at 10-1. So Samoa Joe is at the top. Wow. But although odds are not always right in terms of the results of WWE matches, it should be noted that Jinder Mahal was favored to win the WWE Championship at Backlash. Mahal did win and become WWE Champion despite the history of bad losing and terrible booking. The same can happen to Samoa Joe, and he has been booked much better than Mahal. I will agree with that. If Samoa Joe really beats Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Bray Wyatt at Extreme Rules, many fans are going to be happy with his matchup with Brock Lesnar. I'm going to be happy with his matchup against Brock Lesnar. Joe versus Lesnar has been on the wish list of the WWE Universe, and it's a fresh matchup that could help the plummeting ratings of Monday Night Raw. I'm sure that is a really, really good assumption. One of the fans of Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar is Jim Cornette, who revealed it in an episode of Table for 3 on the WWE Network. I love Jim Cornette. As reported by Wrestling Inc., Cornette wants to see Joe and Lesnar go one-on-one in a submission match, not at Extreme Rules, but at WrestleMania 34. I love Jim Cornette. That's what I want to see. The two baddest dudes in the locker room, and one of them has to tap out. I like to see what could happen. I agree with you, Mr. Cornette. The WWE also recently teased Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar after a promo by Paul Heyman a couple of weeks ago. The match can still happen, but the WWE might be saving it for a later date since the company wants a lot of challenges for Lesnar leading into WrestleMania 34 next year. Rumors have been swirling around that Lesnar versus Reigns is the current plan for the main event of WrestleMania 34. However, it should be noted that these are still rumors and speculations at the moment. Take it with a grain of salt. The WWE tends to change their plans on a consistent basis. Extreme Rules is on Sunday, June 4th at the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. It is a Monday Night Raw exclusive pay-per-view and the 9th WWE event under the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. What do I have to say about this? First of all, yes, please, Samoa Joe win this match. If Samoa Joe won this match, that would make this match, even if it was the most amazing Fatal 5-Way we've ever seen, it'd instantly make it even more amazing. Samoa Joe is a legitimate ass-kicking machine, bro. He is the only guy besides Roman Reigns and the way he's been built with Superman punch and spear and being the Superman of the WWE. Besides Roman Reigns, he's the only guy in this match who I can legitimately see going against Brock Lesnar. The guy this way is built. The guy this way is portrayed. He is fantastic on the mic. Imagine the promos we can get with Samoa Joe and Paul Heyman. Jesus Christ. And this, if you want to see a legitimate, hard-hitting match, if you want to see an athletic, ass-kicking contest, bro, that's what you're going to get between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. And let me tell you, that is something we have not seen in a while. A match where the two guys are just going to go in there, beat the shit out of each other, and everybody is going to applaud, and everybody is going to be on their feet, and everybody is going to be hoping for Samoa Joe to win, because, I mean, it's Samoa goddamn Joe, bro. That would be one of the most legitimate Universal Champions. You want to see legitimacy brought to the Universal Championship. You want to see the Universal Championship bring legitimacy to Samoa Joe. You have him beat Brock Lesnar, and you have him hold that title, and that title, for the first time in a while, will benefit the person holding it, while the person holding it benefits the title. And that's something we haven't seen in a while, where the person holding the title is adding prestige to that title, but at the same time, that title is doing the same favor back to them. Usually, it's one way or the other, or neither. It's either you're a shit champion or you're a good champion. We haven't seen a good champion in a while. I think Samoa Joe can be that good champion. You have this guy win the Fatal 5-Way. I want to see him win against Brock Lesnar. Probably not going to happen. Probably him winning the Universal Championship and having a fantastic match with Brock Lesnar is as far as it's going to go. But Jesus Christ, the Vegas odds are for Samoa Joe. And let me tell you, the Vegas odds, bro. The Vegas odds back when back in the Royal Rumble, where we were like, who the hell is going to win this thing? Samoa Joe could come out win the Royal Rumble. Finn Balor could come out win the Royal Rumble. Triple H could win, or whoever the hell was in that goddamn Royal Rumble. This guy could win it, that guy could win it, this blah, blah, blah. The Vegas odds voted for Randy Orton. Nobody had the name Randy Orton in mind, bro. The top guy a couple hours or so before the Royal Rumble was Randy Orton, and everybody was like, what the hell is this? And nobody believed that it could be Randy Orton. Who won that Royal Rumble? Randy Orton, and he actually went on to WrestleMania to win the WWE Championship. So that could be it. And everybody's saying, including me, it's not going to be Samoa Joe. I say I wish it was Samoa Joe, but it's not going to be Samoa Joe. It's not going to be Samoa Joe. It's not going to be Samoa Joe. Damn, it could be Samoa Joe. And if it is, you're going to have a smile on my face, and I'm sure a lot of other people are going to have smiles on their faces. Leave a comment down below for what you think about this story, because it is probably one of the most positive stories and one of the most positive ways you'll find me in this entire Behind the Mic podcast, I guess you can call it. So, for now, make sure to comment down below what you think of this story. Should Samoa Joe win? For now, let's move on. A YouTuber shades SmackDown Live star for standing her up on her date. Claims that he's leaving WWE soon. Jesus Christ. Let's talk about it. Things can often get colorful outside the ring for the show-off Dolph Ziggler, and with Trisha Paytas of YouTube fame calling him out for allegedly standing her up on a date while suggesting that he may be leaving WWE soon. It looks like the SmackDown Live mid-carder is getting some unwanted publicity for his well-documented life away from the squared circle. In recent months, there haven't been any other prominent claims that Dolph Ziggler is leaving the WWE, but these rumors have popped up frequently over the years, mainly due to the 36-year-old wrestler's outspoken nature and willingness to comment on WWE Creative's direction and his perpetual status as a mid-card talent, despite arguably being one of the company's most talented performers. His dating history has also been a hot topic among fans, as he's been in relationships with the likes of Amy Schumer, and as the comedian herself confirmed in a 2012 interview on The Howard Stern Show, apparently Dolph Ziggler and Trisha Paytas have been dating as of late, as the 29-year-old YouTube personality took to her channel on Thursday to out Ziggler as another one of the celebrity fuckboys she's had sexual relationships with. In quotes published by Wrestling Inc., Paytas didn't waste time in telling Dolph to man up for his actions, admitting that she and the wrestler had first dated sometime last year, but adding she doesn't remember much about their alleged fling. This whore said, "I don't really remember much of it, so when I say it was the best sex ever, I was fucking high and on drugs, so was it really even? If I can't remember it, then it wasn't the best sex ever." This dumb blonde is what I'm going to call her. After that encounter, Dolph Ziggler and this dumb blonde kept in constant communication, and on last Thursday of May, the two had supposedly made arrangements to go on a date. Trisha didn't skimp on the intimate details of how she prepared for the encounter, and added that she canceled a date she had already had with another man, while repeatedly warning Dolph not to flake. Unfortunately, that was exactly what Ziggler allegedly did. As Paytas claimed, the SmackDown Live mainstay gave the excuse of being old and not feeling too well. Ziggler tried to reschedule the date, and that wasn't alright with Paytas, who had a minor meltdown as she claims to have gotten a similar runaround from another wrestler in the past. It was at this point in the video where Trisha Paytas began to unload on wrestling fans, calling the sport fake, and accusing wrestlers of believing that what they do is real. I don't know what it is about wrestlers. They have these big fucking heads. Wrestling's fucking fake, but all the fans of this wrestling fake bullshit think it's real and think he's a god, and he's starting to think this shit too. That's what these wrestlers do. Obviously, she's uninformed and a total idiot, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. All things considered, Dolph Ziggler and Trisha Paytas seemed to have a solid friendship before the alleged incident, as the YouTuber described Dolph as being polite, respectful, and sweet, but she feels that Ziggler has disrespected her at the time, which she believes serves as a warning to other women who may get involved with this, with traditionally good-looking and financially stable celebrities. As for Dolph Ziggler leaving the WWE soon, Paytas made this claim towards the end of her video, misidentifying his age multiple times in the video, as he turns 37 in July, but she calls him 37 again and again, challenging fans for watching a sport whose results are known and accepted to be predetermined. For all of you wrestling fans, wrestling is fucking fake. This is her talking. Wrestling is fucking fake. This man is a 37-year-old old man and not a god who is fucking leaving wrestling soon anyways. That's what she said. Jesus Christ. Dolph Ziggler has yet to comment on Trisha Paytas' allegations, but as Sportskeeda noted, he appears to be focusing mainly on the ongoing NBA Finals and rooting for his hometown, the Cleveland Cavaliers. A more recent tweet has him talking about a great day on an unspecified set and working alongside his brother, Ryan Nemeth, who was previously known as WWE developmental talent Briley Pierce. So, I mean, Ziggler getting himself in a world of trouble here. Is Ziggler leaving SmackDown Live? She could have been referring to that because she called him old and 37 multiple times, so she could have been referring to the fact that he's 37 years old, and she calls him old multiple times, so maybe that's what she's referring to by calling him old. But all I know is I went and actually watched this video. I did my research, and I watched this video, and this lady is absolutely delusional. Jesus Christ. I went and watched a couple of her videos, bro. And this is an absolute whore, is what this lady is. Jesus Christ. She had all this makeup on, and she's revealing herself, showing her boobs. You know this lady is just an absolute piece of trash, up and down. And what Dolph Ziggler did wasn't even wrong. He just canceled, bro. He just canceled. And the people in her comment section, people who subscribe to her, or the people immediately in her comment section, I went down and looked at the comment section of these videos, they were bashing her, bro. They were bashing her. They know this lady was wrong. Dolph Ziggler politely texted her, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm old. I can't go. I'm sorry. I'm busy." So, and he said to her prior that she should just go out on her date, but no, she got all heated and she said all this crap about him, and she started saying that wrestling is fake, which is totally bullshit. I hate when people really do not know what the hell they're talking about. This sport is not fake. Wrestling is not fake. These guys are taking actual bumps in the ring. These guys can get seriously injured, probably more so than in any other sport besides, I'd say, UFC and boxing. That's how serious I say it is to get injured in the WWE. This sport is predetermined. That's the word you need to use. Predetermined. So when she starts saying it's fake, blah, 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 she just sounds like a filthy casual bro who doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, and she's just overly heated over nothing. And she even said it, I might be overreacting, but no, instead you want to reveal this guy's plans of possibly leaving the WWE, which Dolph Ziggler completely should, by the way. What the hell do they have Dolph Ziggler doing? This guy isn't going anywhere in the WWE. They're using him to put newer guys over. He just recently put Shinsuke Nakamura over. So if Dolph Ziggler does want to leave the WWE, I understand, because at this point in his career, he ain't going anywhere. WWE in 2013 had a time where they could have capitalized on Dolph Ziggler, and they failed. So I understand that. But the fact that Trish Paytas wanted to out this guy and fuck him because he canceled on her was absolute bullshit. Now let's move on this story. The person behind the Kurt Angle scandal on Raw is now known. This was one of the most interesting things on Raw. Only probably interesting thing on Raw. Besides the Enzo Amore attack and Goldust, which Goldust was one of the most interesting things on Raw. Take that as a benchmark to show you how terrible this Raw was. But that just goes to show you. This week on Monday Night Raw, a very strange new angle was started, and it directly involved General Manager Kurt Angle and some kind of strange scandal. The angle involved Corey Graves, who was sitting at the announce table and suddenly received a very concerning text about something involving Raw GM. Now the person behind the whole scandal and the reasoning behind it may have been revealed. Everyone watching Monday Night Raw this week saw some odd things take place at the announce table. About halfway through the show, the three announcers were talking at their table as Corey Graves was playing on his phone and looking concerned. As recapped by the official website of WWE, Graves suddenly got up and left the table without much of an explanation. Booker T and Michael Cole had no idea what was going on with Graves, and they just continued with Raw as scheduled. Shortly after leaving the announce table, Graves was backstage and meeting with Kurt Angle. Graves handed his phone over to the Raw GM, who read the text saying that there was some information going around that could ruin him. The information in the text messages sent to Graves was very concerning, and Angle even read one that said he was a disgrace and an embarrassment to WWE. Some more said that it could besmirch his status as Olympic gold medalist, but Graves wouldn't reveal who sent him this information. Angle said that this information could ruin him if it is true, but that was the end of the segment. Now, PW Mania is reporting that there are some rumors going around that it could be none other than Stephanie McMahon who has the information on Angle, which is leading to this whole scandal. Some of the social media chatter had the secret advisor to Corey Graves as none other than William Regal. That would make sense as to the use of the word besmirch in the text messages he received, but PW Mania believes that as plans currently stand in WWE, it will be Stephanie McMahon. In turn, this could lead to the return of Stephanie McMahon as commissioner of Monday Night Raw, as she has not been seen since WrestleMania 33. After being knocked through a table at ringside during the Triple H vs. Seth Rollins match, she has been off of WWE television. According to Wrestling Inc., this new angle on Raw could lead to the in-ring return for Kurt Angle, which has been long rumored. Right now, Angle is the general manager of Monday Nights, but if provoked or besmirched, it could entice him to get back in the wrestling ring. The entire thing had a very serious feel to it from the moment Graves received the text at the announce table to the time he presented them to Kurt Angle. Even upon returning to his position, Graves kept things very hush-hush and played up the heel announcer role in perfect fashion after that. Inquisitor recently reported that the WWE was rumored to hold off Kurt Angle's first match back with the company until WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. If that ends up holding true, they're certainly starting to build up a program extremely early in advance. If the pace they are on holds up, Angle could be back in the ring by SummerSlam. When Kurt Angle was announced for the WWE Hall of Fame back in January, all of the fans were wondering if he would step back into the ring again to wrestle. There have been rumors, but no confirmation that he will have an in-ring return for WWE, but this scandal angle on Raw could be the beginning of it all. Stephanie McMahon was going to return sooner or later, and it appears as if the setup for her comeback has begun. If it is Stephanie McMahon, that would, to be honest to me, be extremely disappointing, because I was having fun on Raw with announcing Stephanie McMahon. If there's a reason that Mick Foley's reign as general manager was so terrible, it's because of Stephanie McMahon. And if there's a reason why Kurt Angle's reign as general manager of Monday Night Raw has been actually pretty decent, it's because Stephanie McMahon isn't there. Every single week, she came in and cut down Mick Foley like a fucking wood chopper. Everything Foley had to say, chop it down, chop it down, chop it down. You're an embarrassment to the WWE. Those text messages sounded exactly like something Stephanie McMahon would say. So if it is her, I would not be surprised. Jesus Christ. And I do not want to see the return of Stephanie McMahon. Jesus, that would turn Kurt Angle into an absolute piece of shit general manager, because every week she'd come down and she'd say some crap about him and it would make him look like an absolute glorified pussy. So, I mean, that's what Stephanie McMahon does to everybody on the Monday Night Raw roster. She cuts everybody down, and it's like she can't help it. Jesus Christ. For a while, in October or December, I even think it was. Jesus Christ, when was it? When we were reviewing Raw, I had this stupid thing Stephanie McMahon would say every week. She'd make some stupid-ass match or say some dumb-ass shit, and every single week we would call her out on that. But I do not want to see the return of Stephanie McMahon, and if this is where the angle is leading, I mean, Jesus Christ, just another one of these garbage Raw angles. But if it leads to Kurt Angle stepping back in the ring, I'm fine with it, bro. That's exactly what I want to see. But whoever sent these text messages, it's certainly going to be interesting to see who it was, and it's going to be one of the most interesting things on Raw every single weekend. Saying that there's something interesting on Raw is something I've been waiting to say for a while now. So look out for Goldust. Look out for the Enzo and Cass, which we have news on next. Look out for the Enzo and Cass storyline, and look out for Kurt Angle as general manager being the most important things on Monday Night Raw. Forget a Fatal 5-Way, forget Brock Lesnar, forget all that crap. It's Kurt Angle, Enzo and Cass, and Goldust, because Jesus Christ, I know, Monday Night Raw is terrible. Let's move on here. Also revealed, the person who texted Kurt Angle was revealed. Also revealed is a theory of who may have attacked Mr. Enzo for the past 2 weeks on Raw, and it might just lead to the biggest heel turn we've seen in a long time. Over the last couple of weeks, Enzo Amore has been blindsided and attacked at different episodes of Monday Night Raw, which has led to a major investigation taking place. General Manager Kurt Angle is not going to rest until he finds out who attacked the tag team partner of Big Cass, and he doesn't want his superstars injured by nefarious purposes. Rumors are flying, and a spoiler-filled theory might have revealed the mysterious attacker, and it could lead to a huge heel turn. After almost winning the Raw Tag Team titles on a few occasions, the team of Enzo Amore and Big Cass have kind of blended into the background. Over the last 2 weeks, they've been in the spotlight due to Enzo being viciously attacked backstage and left unconscious time and time again. Raw General Manager Kurt Angle vowed this past Monday that an investigation would be started to figure out who is beating down Enzo. Big Cass says he will not rest until he finds out who is hurting his little buddy, but this could end up being one of the best storylines of the year. Fans can expect this angle to continue for a few more weeks, but when the attacker is finally revealed, they won't believe their eyes. According to Wrestling Observer Radio, Vince McMahon is ready to give Big Cass a huge push as a singles wrestler. Oh my God. That is why this angle is going to continue for a few weeks, as it will build up the mystery and lead to the huge surprise of Big Cass being named as the person who has attacked Enzo Amore. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer stated that the breakup of the tag team has been discussed for weeks now. Once the Hardy Boys returned to WWE, they became the top babyface tag team in the company. This gives Vince a chance to push Big Cass as he's wanted to for a long time. To add more credibility to this storyline, Give Me Sport came up with a theory that WWE is really building it up as a huge mystery after the first attack last week. Heel Raw announcer Corey Graves said he would like to shake the hands of the man responsible for attacking Enzo. Graves even speculated that it could be Cass himself who attacked his partner. Later, Big Cass came out to the announce table out of nowhere and confronted Graves for his words, which led to the announcer giving an apology and shaking Cass's hand. This could end up being nothing but a coincidence, but it also works well with the storyline. When Cass is finally revealed as the attacker, WWE could play this as a flashback, which was a big clue. That's clever, because Corey Graves said he wants to shake the hand of the attacker. He shakes Cass's hand. Whoa! Cass might just be the attacker. Whoa! That could be an interesting little tidbit there, but that might just be a clue if you're a little Sherlock Holmes detective there. There was speculation that the Revival were responsible for attacking Enzo Amore, which I hope it's the goddamn Revival, attacking Enzo Amore as they were seen walking around after the first attack, while Kurt Angle said he saw them leave the arena earlier that night. Big Cass was adamant in placing the blame on them and off of anyone else. It is always possible that the storyline could be changed by the moment they're set to make the big reveal, but if it stays as Big Cass, it will be one of the biggest heel turns in a long time. Big Cass will probably end up in the title picture, while it is not yet known what will happen with Enzo Amore. The tag team of Enzo Amore and Big Cass started off with incredible amounts of attention and quickly shot up the ranks with fans. Over time, though, it appears as if some have grown tired of the same old routine, and that means it is time for Vince McMahon to shake things up. Big Cass is primed and ready for a mega push, which will start with him being revealed as the one who has been attacking his tag team partner and officially turning him heel. What do I think about this? I think, no, please do not do this. You have the Revival, you have the Hardys, you have Sheamus and Cesaro, you have Enzo and Cass. The Hardys have a cap for how long they are going to be tag team champions. You know that the broken gimmick is going to be proclaimed sooner or later. Jeff is going to turn back into the Enigma, and Jeff Hardy is going to turn back into the Enigma, and broken Matt Hardy is going to rise. That's going to leave you with Sheamus and Cesaro, who can break up at any moment and go into a singles capacity, and then the Revival. So you're telling me Enzo and Cass are going to be broken up, the Hardys are inevitably going to be broken up, and Sheamus and Cesaro could be broken up literally at any moment. That's going to leave you with one tag team in the Revival. You're kidding me, bro? You're kidding me. You're breaking up all these tag teams. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa down in NXT are no more. So the possibility of them coming up to Monday Night Raw and being a tag team is done, especially with Tommaso Ciampa injured. So that's another tag team loss. I mean, are you kidding me, bro? There's no way you can break up Enzo and Cass. You need to keep Enzo and Cass in the tag team division. First of all, I don't think Big Cass is ready yet. Big Cass is still very green in the ring. Give it another year, if you ask me. Give it another year, and I think this guy could possibly be like a Braun Strowman, bro. Just came out of nowhere. He could be like a Braun Strowman right now, but I think Enzo still needs Big Cass. What are you going to do with Enzo? Are you just going to leave Enzo in the dust while Big Cass goes and becomes this big megastar? It makes no sense for the tag team division. It makes no sense for Enzo Amore's career. And it makes no sense to push Big Cass into the situation so quickly. Don't do this yet. Have it be the Revival. Have Enzo and Cass going to a huge rivalry with the Revival going into the summer. Have the Revival win the tag team championships. If you want to do it then, you can. And, I mean, go from there. But for now, I think you need Enzo and Cass versus the Revival. It'd be a nice way for the Revival to come back, get them back in the public eye, and have them come in to this big storyline with Enzo and Cass. But as far as breaking these guys up goes, that is a big no. For now, that is your final news story on Behind the Mic. Tell me what you think of this news story, because I am really concerned that this is what WWE is going to do. For now, make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Raw review, Smackdown review, Extreme Rules, preview, and predictions. Make sure to go like those videos and make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, and as well as leave your comments on all of these news stories. So for now, this has been Behind the Mic, episode number 22. I will see you tomorrow for your Extreme Rules review and results after that show goes off the air. For now, this has been Joel Perez over Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video.